This is a video response to Gay Gods coming out. I posted a comment on Gay Gods video about 2 weeks ago, and I got a lot of negative response because I don't know what people thought I meant. So I'm here to explain myself. I don't believe coming out is easy for anybody. It's always a little bit terrifying. It changes your life. You finally accept things that you've known. And no, I don't disagree with some 13-year-olds, 14, whatever, aren't 100% sure, but if you're questioning, there's something there. Talking to your parents, you know your parents better than anybody, so if they have gay friends or gay relatives in their family or around them a lot and they don't say derogatory comments towards them or about them, and it's probably somewhat safe to come out. If your father makes comments all the time about homosexuals and how he disagrees and uses a lot of derogatory words, that's your first clue. Don't try to come out to him at the age of 13, 14, whichever. I had an okay experience because I do have other homosexuals in my family that we know about, and my parents have never said anything around us that it was wrong or that God's going to strike us down. We've heard from my mom when we were children, who you are is who you are, never be afraid to tell me. So that was fine. With my father was 67 when I came out, so that was more unnerving coming out to him because of the generation he grew up in. So I decided that I had to tell him, and I was 14 years old, so I did tell him, and it wasn't that much of a shock. He looked at me and said, okay, as long as you're happy. And both my parents, their biggest fear was me being saved. That's what most parents are afraid of, because they still have it in the back of their heads from the HIV/AIDS scare that it was started by homosexuals. It's been disputed now. It's been proven that it comes from, I believe it's monkeys or apes. I'm not too sure. I didn't check anything up before I started this because it's just here to explain myself. They still fear the fact that they still hear about gay bashings. A lot of people still do it. Yes, there's still a lot of people that dislike it. But what are we going to do? Hide in the closet just for the hell of it? It's more destructive to a person to hide. The gay teen suicide rate is way too high because they feel afraid, and they hear from sources like YouTube that it's not right to come out when you live with your parents, so easiest way out is to kill yourself, and that's not right either. There is support networks out there. It doesn't matter how small the town is. Like, I grew up in a very small town. Everyone knew what we were doing before we even knew what we were doing. So there's support networks there. There's the internet. If you're watching this, you have the internet. There's resources on the internet from psychologists, psychiatrists, actual organizations out there to help, not just a person that had problems himself coming out, so therefore he says these are the guidelines to come out, because it is different for everybody else. And no, parents usually don't punish their children if they're accepting of it to start taking things away. You have to judge a situation. You have to figure your parents out and see where they come in on the topic by bringing up, like, that you heard there's a show called The L Word, and it's a bunch of women that are trying to find themselves or whatnot. I don't even know what that show's about. And then you slip in that it's about lesbians. If they don't come out with, oh my god, it's a bunch of muff divers, there, maybe that's a good situation. If you talk about gay men you've heard of, like, then, and you ask them, if you turn around and go, say like, well, how do gay men have children? Because that was in the news here in Canada quite a while back. Well, not that long ago. Or that you've seen on TV, a gay couple get married. If it's not responded to in a negative way, probably you're safe to come out. But the biggest fear people have about coming out is how's the reaction going to be. That you can never judge. I thought my mother would be like super about it, like, okay, you're gay, whatever. But I destroyed a dream I didn't know she had. She had the whole heterosexual dream for me that I would be married to beautiful women, have an awesome family, beautiful home, good job, all the above. Like, and that kind of sank for her because the whole prospect of children was gone. Well, it wasn't, but she thought it was. The whole prospect of me being able to have an easy life was gone because of who I am. But just judge the situation. It's as easy as that. If you believe your parents are accepting, just hint until you know for sure, and then you can tell them. But friends, use them as much as you can. Friends are there to help you. And true, if they're not your true friends, they'll disappear. But take this as an opinion or as my view. It's not for everybody. Like, it's not like, hey mom, guess what? I have a boyfriend. That doesn't work for everybody. It worked for me, not for everybody. Like, just be safe. That's all you need to do is be safe and make sure you have a good support system. And that's that. Well, thank you.